Hi, my name is ElizaMarlor. It's nice to meet you. In this packet, you will find my resume, my references, all that good stuff. And hopefully you find it illuminating as to who I am on paper. About me. I grew up traveling, so I feel like I'm, from everywhere. If I had to pick a home, I'd probably pick Tennessee. That's where I went to high school. Growing up, I was a self-starter. I was very motivated to get top grades in all my classes, to the point that I was almost a perfectionist of sorts. I saw anything less than an A as failure at one point. And as I went into high school, especially, and I joined in sports, and I really fell in love with fitness and the journey of becoming stronger, I started to do the typical high school injury cycle where I would get really fit, I would go to a game, I would get hurt, and then I would try to figure out a way to stay fit. And this played into, high school's already a struggle, we know this. This played into my developing body image and self-confidence issues. And I continue to struggle with those occasionally now, but especially during high school, it was this constant, tumultuous journey of trying to be fit, being on that fitness journey, and being on the wagon and falling off because I got hurt. And I feel that those experiences through my youth actually are really useful, especially for clients, because, I feel that it makes us more relatable. I don't seek out someone to train me that hasn't been through struggles before. I also have experience outside of just fitness. I TA'd in college for a class that focused on chronic diseases and how they related to nutrition and how you could prevent certain aspects of those diseases from overtaking your life through nutrition. That experience especially taught me that I really enjoyed helping people to understand their health and how to work with people from all walks of life. And next question. So when I was a TA, an example of conflict. When I was a TA, there was a second TA for that same class. And some semesters we were working with the same professors, other semesters we were working with separate professors. But in the end, we would have to meet up and make sure that we were preaching the same program. Now, that became difficult because she had been a TA longer. She had her set point of view. And so when I would come in and bring new ideas, sometimes she wasn't such a fan of how I describe something. She felt it was confusing, or mostly it was small stuff. But essentially what we figured out, and what I like to do, is if there is a situation of conflict, is I try to sit down with that person face to face first, and we can just talk it out, see from each other's points of views, and figure out a solution. If that can't be accomplished, then generally I will write a letter explaining my point of view, or an email, whatever point of contact we have, explaining my point of view and what possible solutions I see, and reaching out to them to find out what they think, what they see as an agreeable solution. In 5 years, I hope to see my family settled. My husband is in the medical field. He will have finished his training, and it'll mean that we can actually stay put. And my kids will be old enough that they will be in full-time school, which will allow me to continue to increase my knowledge and skills as a trainer. And I really want to find a company I can be at home with and and grow with for a long, long time. My major strengths are that I am dependable. I like to be relied on. I'm goal-oriented with my clients. I am so goal-oriented that I take their goals on as my own. And I'm creative. I love to be given a problem and have to figure out maybe an unconventional way to solve things. That's one thing that's really enjoyable about being a trainer, is that every body is different. Everyone's body responds differently to different training. And while there are general responses, you don't know all the variables of anybody's given health situation. So with training, I really enjoy the fact that I can be creative with those training plans. I can be quick on my feet, and we start doing an exercise and a client says that, oh, well, this makes my knee hurt. Then we can think of a different way to hit that same muscle group in the session, even though we had a different plan. We can change gears and still be okay. I am extremely communicative. If I don't know something, I will find someone who does. If I can't find anyone who knows what I'm asking about, I will research it to death, trying to find a solution. I feel that, I am human. I do have weaknesses. One of my major weaknesses that I've been working on is impatience for those who aim for the bare minimum. People who do just enough and expect everyone else around to kind of pick up the slack. I've learned over the years that I needed to be more observant and figure out who needs support and encouragement and they're just having a hard day, and coworkers who make this damaging behavior a habit. And those people, obviously, I feel the need to report them because they are damaging the effectiveness of, the training team. My previous experience, if you look at my resume, you will see is very, very spread out. I did decide to stay at home and be a mom. I don't regret this decision one day ever. I do feel that the experiences I do have are very, very valuable. For example, as a TA, I worked with well over 1,000 students, and I had to be able to work with them in a group in a large auditorium of, around 200 kids to smaller groups of 15 or 20 down to individual tutoring sessions. And I feel that that gave me the ability and the confidence to work with people one-on-one and to really create that chemistry that makes you feel comfortable, makes you want to come back. And it really helped me with identifying people's learning styles quickly. Very, very useful as a TA. As a personal assistant for a small business, I learned to balance priorities, that although you have, these 5 things, 2 of them may actually be, a top priority. And it's not really that they rank above each other as much as being able to balance how much work is being done on either of them at once. It also forced me to become very efficient with my time and my resources that I was allotted. And I brought that experience into college, and it made me very successful. You should hire me because people have a skewed perception of personal training and personal trainers themselves, that they've been fit their entire lives, and I haven't. I've had 2 kids, I've had injuries, I've played sports, I've let my nutrition go to the gutter. I've been human. And I feel like that's really important to have trainers who clients can relate to. They know that they've been on that fitness journey, they've fallen off the wagon, they've gotten back on, they've pushed themselves. whether on their own or with help of other people, other trainers even. And that ability to relate with clients is so important for that instant bond and understanding. And it leads to, client retention, which in the end, if someone doesn't bond with you, doesn't feel like you understand them and where they're trying to go, are they really going to stick around to actually see the results? Probably not. So to wrap all that up, I will go the extra 10 miles for my clients. If they can't, get out of a wheelchair, but they want to build overall strength, we will figure out a way to do that. What will my references say about me? My references will say that I'm dependable, I'm honest, I'm enthusiastic, I'm self-motivated, I'm a go-getter, I'm always willing to help. I'm probably communicative to a point of annoyance. If I don't have something specifically that I have to do at that moment, or I just have, a blank slate day, I will find something to do. I will find someone to help. I did a bit more research on the YMCA, and I've actually got a couple questions for you. So my first question is that I understand the upward movement from being a personal trainer to a healthy living director, but as a healthy living director, are you required or allowed to retain personal training clients or hours on the floor, or how does that work? My next question would be, because personal trainers are not required to sell supplements or merchandise like other gyms, what quotas are your trainers actually expected to meet? Because in the end, although this is technically a nonprofit, in the end, this is a business. So what do we need? What quotas do we need to meet or exceed? I'm curious. And then third, what kind of continuing education do you provide your trainers? Is it at the YMCA's expense, or would it be my expense as a trainer? Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you.